In the morning when I rise, give me Jesus.
Good morning. So Paul is on his way to Rome. He's been on a couple ships. He's been through many towns. And he said, guys, we need to winter here. We need to not go to Crete, because if we get on the ocean again, it is going to be trouble. There's going to be loss. And so nobody listened to him. They got in the boat and took off. And sure enough, we have seen the waves beating up on this ship, and they're worried that they're going to go aground, and so they've got to lighten the load. So they've thrown all the cargo overboard. They've thrown the tackle overboard. They haven't eaten for a long time. And Paul hears God, and so he tells the guys, look, do what I say, and nobody's going to die. He said it like this: do not be afraid. He encouraged them to not lose heart. Keep up your courage, men, for I believe God that it will turn out exactly as I have told you. None of us are going to lose our lives. Well, did they believe him? I'm going to read verses 27 through 32 in Acts 27 today, and here's what they say. When the 14th night came, 2 weeks of this, as we were being driven about in the Adriatic Sea, about midnight, the sailors began to surmise that they were approaching some land. And so they took soundings and found that it was 20 fathoms. And a little further on, they took another sounding and found that it was 15 fathoms. So sure enough, we're coming into land, it looks like. So fearing that we might run aground somewhere on the rocks, and if that were to happen, the boat maybe would break up. And so they cast 4 anchors from the stern and wished for daybreak. But as the sailors were trying to escape from the ship and had let down the ship's boat into the sea, the guys weren't trusting Paul. They said, we're going to trust the worldly wisdom. We're going to get into one of these lifeboats and see if we can't row to shore and save our lives. And they did this on the pretense of intending to lay out anchors from the bow. See, we're going to get in the boat, but we're only doing it because we want to put the anchors out for you guys. No, they were trying to save their own necks. And look at what Paul has to say. Verse 31, Paul said to the centurion and to the soldiers, unless these men remain in the ship, you yourselves cannot be saved. We've got to all stay on the ship, and if we all do, none of us will lose our lives. That's what God said. And so here's the deal. We got to do what God says, no matter what it looks like. If we follow worldly wisdom, we're going to be in trouble. We need the wisdom of God. Then the soldiers cut away the ropes of the ship's boat, and they let it fall away. They made it so nobody could get off the boat because they got rid of those lifeboats. Well, why do we follow God's wisdom? In 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 25, it says this: because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. See, you go the way of the world, and you will be disappointed. But you go the way of God, and you will walk a victorious life full of peace and joy and even righteousness, enjoying God's love everywhere you go. Folks, that is the good news of the gospel. And so God bless you. You're listening to God. And as He speaks, you follow into the rich, abundant life that Jesus came to bring us. Come join us tomorrow. We'll see what happens next in this saga. I hope that you'll be with us. I'll see you then.
Give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. You